Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 18th edition of the 21 Day 20 Minute Podcast.
This is the second time we're doing this recording because Audacity pulled a stoop, and
Hey,
here
you're
we
not
are.
supposed to tell them. Movie magic.
Fake it till you make it. And I love my boat. I have a boat on my wall, and I love that
You
boat.
already mentioned it, but I agree.
I'm going to talk about it more. I love that boat.
Don't talk about it more.
It's not anything weird or anything. I just love the boat, okay?
In a totally non-sexual way.
Look at its curves. Look at them. It actually, I believe we've talked about this boat so much previously.
Is your sail up, or are you just happy to see me? Let that freak flag fly.
All hands on the poop. Oh, I'm too tired for this. Okay. I gotta compose myself. Anyway, because I'm trying to think what we said last, like, quotations last. Because,
I talked about, basically how Jenny got a PlayStation, I think. Or no, that was before the podcast.
No.
Basically, Jenny got a PlayStation, then people started talking about procrastination. Liam put a face XD instead of XD. I said it was about some bandits.
That was my 10 o'clock alarm, my apologies.
I said it was about some bandits. It's the 1840s in Texas. They came and they branded a horseshoe on his face, so it was the only emotion that he could feel was sadness. And then I started reenacting a brief synopsis of Lonesome Dove, which is literally just descriptions of things, and it is no anything.
Deep breath. That was a pretty succinct summary of what we just said in 8 minutes in a minute and a half or so.
Thanks.
It's almost as if we could combine. Okay, you know what I'd love to do at the 21st podcast? I'd love to make it so we watch all of the previous podcasts and then we try and sum them up in 30 seconds respectively. We sum them up in a minute respectively for each one.
So then the last podcast is just all of the podcasts. But
yeah, so then we have 30 seconds to summarize each one.
Jeez.
That would be really cool, actually. It would require the rewatching of every single podcast, but I'm okay with
No thanks.
Or we could both split the podcast, so I get 10, you get 10. I'm on board. It gives me an excuse to watch more YouTube.
No, Aiden, no.
Gotta feed that addiction.
Aiden, that's 400 minutes of podcast that we'd have to watch collectively.
Oh my god, that's really?
That's
made
so
that
much? Well, I mean, no. We will have after the 21st
There's
podcast.
There's no way we were gonna make, that's, what?
400 minutes, because 20
times 20, that's 4. So, whoa.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then, hold on.
I love how that extra 1 minute adds up. That's an extra 24, so we've done 421 minutes. Or will have done.
And then, 400 divided by 60 is 6.66 repeating.
Whoa.
So, we will have done 6.66 numbers of podcast time. 6 hours. Basically, Satan.
I mean, that's
there's a constructive criticism that Taylor could use. Your podcast is literally the devil. Can't argue with that. That's straight hard facts right there.
Literally the devil.
Literally the devil. That's the episode of this podcast.
You need to play the cue from Rick and Morty where it's I know I'm literally the devil, but your grandfather is literally the devil.
Nah, it's too advanced. It's too advanced for me.
Oh yeah, no, I was joking. Hopefully the people know what we're talking about.
They don't.
If you haven't seen Rick and Morty, I'd recommend it. It's quite good.
Good show.
Excuse me?
Good show.
I was say good too. And I was
Excuse me?
I'm so excited for my iced mocha tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I get an iced coffee every single day. And it's heaven. Because I'll get those somewhat cylindrical cups I have? Where they Sorry?
I said yeah.
Oh, again, sorry. It's getting cut off. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to say it pronounce it distinctly so you can hear. I'm sorry.
You just don't. Just say it again.
Well, every 2 minutes you ask what I just said. It's
It's not my fault.
I know what I'm saying. I gotta repeat it clearly.
Why do you sound like my mother? This is actually a conversation I have with my mother like all the time. Anyway, what was I saying? Crap, I was saying something.
I have a topic to talk about.
Oh, do tell.
So my dad has ADHD, and like he takes medicine for it and stuff.
Wait, do you have ADHD?
That's what I was gonna talk about.
Okay, delightful.
I always am like moving and fidgeting. And I was saying how like playing the guitar is nice and better than singing because I can move a lot. And I was like, I wonder if you have ADHD. And I was like, oh, that's a good thought. So that might be a thing.
I've talked about thinking I might have ADD before because I've talked about my dad. Oh man, that's quite a parallel situation.
Oh, does your dad have ADD?
I suspect he does, as does my mother. Let me explain. Basically, he drugs it up because okay, I'll talk about this for a second. My dad takes a lot of pills for pain in his foot and his neck because he's at a not to talk about, okay, to give you an idea of my dad, how weird my dad is, again, he broke his foot when he was, some point when he was young, past the age of like 10, and he just didn't notice, and how cool is that? But that means that now he has a bunch of pain in his foot.
I'm sure he noticed, but he was just like, I don't need it.
No, he said it himself, he did not know any point of which is like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he told me that. He's like, I have no point in my life where it was like absurd amounts of pain. It was just like maybe like once or twice it hurt a little bit, but nothing serious. My dad's, pardon my language, he's a badass.
That's crazy.
But like, sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. He also has a little scar on the front of his neck. Yeah, I'm not sure if you noticed it before, but that's because he had to have surgery on his neck.
I think you've talked about this before, how your dad has like a bunch of injuries and stuff, and it's really metal.
Yeah. Sorry, I was leading to something. But now he takes a lot of medicine so he can help deal with the pain. And I've theorized, because a lot of the medicine he takes is it partially changes your mental state, and it has a lot of the same effects as certain types of ADHD drug medicine. So I've wondered if that's part of the reason why he's taking those sort of drugs. I'm not saying my dad's a druggie, although we joke that he is, but he's not. It's okay. But I have, because I don't know, you've talked to my dad a little bit, but
yeah, nice.
I mean, you haven't seen him like how he actually acts. He has 200 pairs of socks.
Whoa.
That gives you
That's not.
Dude, he has 200 pairs of socks and like 300 ties.
So not 100 pairs, but 200 pairs equaling 400 total socks.
Mm-hmm. It's
and
crazy.
300 ties.
I don't even know where he keeps them all.
Yeah,
I understand. I know where he keeps the ties.
Does he have like a constant rotation of like socks that he wears and socks that are
he wears a new pair of socks every day.
Well, yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, because he's a principal. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's crazy. That's like Mr. Malcasian levels of like variety.
Oh my God, Mr. Malcasian. Let me tell you something about him.
He has a new suit every single day. How does he dress that night?
How do you afford that on a teacher's salary?
Like every single day, I have not seen him wear the same dress shirt twice, and it has been 3 weeks.
I've seen him wear the same pair of pants once.
Yeah, I've seen him wear the same pair of pants. Like, does he just? Because if he washed them all the time, then I would see him wear the same time. So that means he must have at least 20-ish pairs of pants and 20-ish shirts and.
Oh, by the way, were you at student teacher night?
No.
Okay, he was wearing a different pair of clothes then too.
Oh my God!
From the ones he was wearing.
So he went back to Philadelphia, which is like a 45-minute drive, and in rush hour. Oh my God, this man
already brought clothes to school to change in the teacher in some way, at least for the.
It's funny. He talked about how he lived. Okay, backstory. Earlier in the year, one of the students talked about how Mr. Robinson does his laundry at the school, and he was like, "Mr. Malcasian, do you do your laundry at the school?" And he was like, "No, I actually own a house. I have a mortgage." And so then later in the year, he talked about how he lived in like Philadelphia and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, so you like drive all the way from Philly every day, like back and forth?" And he was like, "No, actually, I live under the desk." And I was like, "So you do your laundry here?"
That's pretty clever. Did you find that funny?
Yeah, he found it funny.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
Okay, but
I don't remember what I was talking about.
But I was concerned that I have ADD because I have a really hard time reading and focusing on tasks for a long time. Michael can attest to this. Mm-hmm. Oh man, can he? He's probably like the best first-hand account of what's.
It's frustratingly bad.
Yeah, but and my dad, he does the same thing. Like, he doesn't read at all. Although he's a very intelligent person, he's very smart, but he doesn't read because, well, he doesn't say why, but it's pretty obvious to me. Like, I've seen him try and like focus on like whenever he's doing work, he's watching TV at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Both
and then he'll. Sorry.
Both your parents do that a lot. They always watch TV and work.
Oh yeah, I think it's just because my mom doesn't want to be working. But
yeah.
What was I gonna say? My dad, again, like the way he acts aligns with all of the ADD symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that doesn't is unrest, but I'm not in his mind, so I don't know if he wants to move. Because obviously, whenever like we go to Disney or something, we're walking around 15,000 steps a day. Mm-hmm. He's always in a lot of pain, but I'm not sure if generally walking around is painful.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I know that I display almost every single ADD symptom that there is. Have you checked out the MSD? Or, excuse me. The Big Book of Problems. What is it called? I'm an idiot. I have it on my computer, favorited. MSD? No, MV. Why can't you remember it?
I have no idea, dude. Medical...
It's like a...
that's my go-to-bed alarm. Coordinating go-to-bed alarms. Friends who go to bed at the same time stay together. I was gonna say go to bed together, but that's not right.
MSD. I'm gonna look that up because maybe that's right. I know it's not, but
A Big Book of Medicine.
It's not that.
There's actually a PDF that comes up.
I know if I look up ADHD symptoms, it'll come up at some point.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Symptoms of ADHD. Because the only thing that I don't check up is that I'm decent at paying attention. Like I can pay attention to a thing for long enough.
Sorry, you said like I am pay attention to a thing, so it's
like after like an hour and a half, it's like I don't care anymore.
That might be a I'm just gonna say something. It could be the inattention disorder.
I have attention disorder. I'm sorry, that was mean.
And I know, I deserve that though. Oh, DSM-5. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. DSM-5, and then ADHD.
Look up ADHD.
Okay, I'll do it. Oh, it's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. And then it'll give a pretty basically the DSM is like the way you define those sort of disorders.
Hold on, I'll read this out. Where is it? A persistent pattern of inattention or hyperactivity, impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development. Several inattentive or hyperimpulsive symptoms present prior to age 12 years. Several inattentive or hyperactive... Okay, this is just all the same shit. Or things. Pretty much all just like can't pay attention, move.
Excuse me?
It's all just saying like, hey, you can't pay attention, move.
I can't. Yeah.
I know, but it's funny. It's like it's all the same thing. It's like it's 6 symptoms, and they're all pretty much the same.
Oh, okay. You're looking up one of those sort of things, but
Well, no, it's on DSM-5.
Are you sure you're looking up the the official thing, or are you looking up a institute sort of thing?
Oh, it says ADHDinstitute.com, but it says DSM-5 trademark is widely used for the diagnostics of ADHD in children. Maybe there's an official DSM-5.
I know there is, because I've seen it before.
Yeah, I'll just look up DSM-5 and see if there's a website.
Because I had it...
Oh, here it is, .org, and then I'll look up ADHD.
It is a very official, like, it has every single... I'll just look at DSM-5, then I'll find it for now.
Learn about ADHD. Wow, 5% of children. That's not that much. But again,
I would say
that's actually, that's a lot. Difficulty remaining still for long periods of time, limited attention spans.
But when it comes to the criteria, I fit the criteria for ADD, as well as slightly less so for ADHD, because there's a difference being hyperactivity, like how you act. But I would say, like, I think there's a really good quote. I don't remember from who, but it's saying it's almost as if you're driven by a motor. But I think that very well defines me. When it comes to like moving around, you've seen me just like pace around for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I walk on a trail so I don't feel cramped and that sort of thing. But again, I don't know, because I think that I should go at some point see a psychologist about that. So
this says there's 3 types of ADHD. There's inattentive, and then hyperactive, and then a combination of both. And so the ones that I fall under hyperactive: fidgets or taps hands and feet, or squirms in the seat, not able to stay seated for often, runs or climbs where it is appropriate.
Pause before a second. When it says unable to stay seated in situations that it's usually inappropriate to do so, or to not be so, it can, in more mature kids or in adults, it can show up as feelings of restlessness. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. And then for the inattentive, wow, does not seem to listen when spoken to.
Also, there's one in there that's like I think I fit every single one of the inattentive except for one, which I can't remember. I think it was the doesn't like waiting in lines. I think I fit every single other criteria on that list.
Oh God, is easily distracted, forgets daily tasks such as doing chores and running errands, older teens and adults. Oh, that's me. Oh my God, literally me. Often loses things. Organizing is bad. Does not manage time well. Oh, these are all me. It's like sad. Does not follow through on instructions and doesn't complete school work, chores, or job duties to the fullest of their ability.
Yeah, you see what I mean, though.
Website, stop it.
It fits both of our bills quite perfectly. Yeah. The only one that doesn't apply to me is like, because you can have 6 out of 7. It's like, it isn't like you have to have every single criteria. You have to have a certain amount to get the like to have a proper diagnosis. So you can't just have like one, like, oh, I move a little bit. That's not enough to get a diagnosis.
I have a fidget spinner, so I have ADHD.
I'm gonna ignore that. And also, what is Audacity at?
Is it 18 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah,
I just spent most of the episode looking up, the ADHD symptoms.
Yeah. And this title's gonna be ADHD question mark?
ADHD.
Oh wait, no, it has to be literally the devil.
Literally the devil.
ADHD question mark.
Literally the ADHD devil. They'll have a baby.
Devil. Literally the ADHD devil. I'm just gonna put question marks in parentheses because I don't even know.
Yeah, but I do think we should both get checked out, because I have a strong feeling that my dad had, because he shares all I've looked at the criteria looking through his lens, and it all fits.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that my dad has ADHD, so it would not be unlikely for me to as well.
Yeah, it's really common to go through family trees, but I've talked about this before. I think it'd be nice if we could get some medication, because I take coffee so I can focus better. Yeah, actually, my mom said that I should start drinking coffee in the morning, because it said that caffeine helps with not wanting to move all the time, which I felt was counterintuitive. But then I was like, actually, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's mainly good for paying attention, because it's a stimulant, and that's all. Like, take Ritalin for example. It's a stimulant. It's just caffeine's a lesser stimulant. Yeah, I mean, I can pay attention. It's just the movement part for me. Like, this whole thing, I've been tapping my foot. I don't know if you probably can't hear it, but... I can't. I think the main thing that when it comes to, hyperactivity part, which I think could, because I fit all the criteria, but I'm not sure about that. But obviously, again, this is, we're not doctors, but... Yeah. We're pretty smart.
Silly neurotypicals diagnosing themselves with disorders they don't have.
Not diagnosing ourselves. We're just saying we might.
I know, but I could see someone on Tumblr saying neurotypicals
I know,
diagnosing themselves with things they don't have. Just because you think you have something doesn't mean you do. You're not a doctor. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm just want to figure out so I can better treat myself in the future.
Thank you for watching this not boring but uneventful episode of the 21 Day 20 Minute Podcast. I've been your host, Michael.
When does the video end?
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Hope you enjoyed this. Rambling for a large amount of time. Yeah, I hope it was good.
If any of you are doctors in the comments, diagnose.
There should be like one of those like stupid games online where it's like, oh, diagnose us today. And it's like,
it's like, do you have ADHD? If you answered 5 out of these 8 questions, you may be.
Goodbye.
See you in the next one.